I'm Andrew Chris, and I lead a firm called Borderless, 22 consultants operating worldwide, and we do international work as a basis for our work.
Andrew, we're talking about impressing the headhunter. Mm-hmm. And you've met many thousands of candidates over the years, I'm sure. I'm interested to know what makes somebody stand out. What do you notice about the people that you meet, and what makes them special?
Treating people as people, first of all. You're not meeting anybody exceptionally different when you're meeting a headhunter. So treat me as you would anybody else you have a conversation with. I'm not your servant. I'm not there as a service provider. I'm there to help and work with you to make sure you get the best out of your career. Please treat me with respect. And by the way, that also means when you write to me, don't write to dear sirs. Find out who I am, find out whether I'm relevant for you. Anything that comes in as dear sir or to whom it may concern, go straight to the bin. It's not polite.
Andrew, if I'm a candidate and I'm meeting a headhunter for the first time, how much preparation should I be doing in advance of that meeting?
What you should not be doing is rehearsing your resume. What you should be doing is coming in for an intelligent conversation about yourself and about the kind of things that interest you in life and what you've done in business, but not a recital of your resume. Come for a conversation. Come for an open conversation.
Is it true that there's no such thing as over-preparation, or would you say that actually over-preparation actually can be quite negative?
It can be. I want to find out about you, who you are as a person. That's my number one objective. What you've done is so, and I can read that, and you can tell me a little bit about it, but what I'm interested in is knowing who you are, what you do, what makes you tick, and what your personal ambitions are. I'm going to read your background, I have a chat to you about your background. Perhaps you should also look at mine. We maybe have some things in common that form a good basis for conversation.
If I'm coming in to talk about a specific opportunity or a specific client, then I think it is up to the candidate to do preparation in advance, because they can do a bit of background research, and they should do
Of course, that's normal. But you would do that ahead of any business discussion. Why would this be any different?
If you're going to invest a couple of hours of your life in having a conversation with me about a position, then probably you want to go and do your homework first.
Absolutely. It's like any investment.
What are your pet hates?
Well, actually, my pet likes. Please be yourself.
Okay.
Because it becomes very apparent very quickly if you're trying to be somebody you are not. And the whole point about the quality of conversations we have is an ability to discover that rather quickly. So don't pretend. Be who you are. And if you're right for that job, well, fantastic. If you're not, well, don't waste your life on this. Go and do something else. So be yourself, number one. You cannot be anything else in reality.
When we engage with people as headhunters, I sometimes find that there are people who are a little bit too slick in their preparation. Mm-hmm. In other words, they've got it all packaged up, and I don't really get to understand who that person really is.
Yes.
Whereas somebody who's more confident is more willing to open up and talk perhaps more honestly about themselves.
Well, reciprocity is a key factor of leadership, isn't it? And to have a reciprocal relationship, you need to give of yourself as well as take from others. So having that is absolutely key to the right conversation.
And I find that the senior people are actually generally, they are more relaxed, they're more open, they're more willing to be...
Indeed.
Be questioned maybe, and they're willing to have a proper discussion, which is more interesting.
But a discussion is, of course, questions are two ways, right? And very often you're so busy telling that you actually forget to ask any questions yourself as the executive. That's a big mistake. Again, that's not a conversation.
It's really a process of due diligence on both sides, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So it's your job as a candidate to try and understand.
You owe it to yourself. You're going to put yourself for the next 5, 10, 15 years into this situation. You better understand what you're getting into. By the way, that onus is the same on the executive search consultant, warts and all. And if you have the right person in front of you, they'll understand that there are warts and how to deal with that. That's also critical.
If I'm meeting you, Andrew, to talk about a job, what are some of the obvious questions that I should be asking?
What's it like to work in this place? Who are the people that you've met? Why would I want to work here given what you know of me so far?
What about the expectations of the role?
What does your client expect me to do? How am I going to be measured in my first year? These are critical questions to ask.